there, I'm Elaine. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I create follow-along stretching routines for beginners. So if you'd like a reminder to stretch, please hit that subscribe button. For today's routine, we'll be doing some hamstring stretches for flexibility. This routine will be very helpful for those of you who are looking to be able to touch your toes or are looking to relieve tightness in other areas of your body like your hips and your lower back, since all of these muscles really work together. If you're just starting off with flexibility, make sure that you include some of these deep stretching routines at least once or twice a week to really target areas in your body that are tight. This will help you see results over time. If you're only stretching out once a month, then you're not really going to get the results that you want. So the more you do these stretches, the better it will be. You don't need any equipment for this routine, just some space around you and a soft surface to get started. Let's stretch. We'll start off this routine by warming up our legs. Flex your foot and kick 5 times forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to the next side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move your arm to a 45-degree angle. Again, flex your foot and kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeating on the next side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now place your hands on the ground in a low squat and begin to straighten out your legs. Only straighten your legs as far as you can go to feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Repeating this a few times to get our legs nice and warm. Now hold both of your elbows and rock from side to side in a forward fold. Listen to your breath as you rock, swaying gently and letting gravity pull you closer towards the ground. Now slowly roll yourself up. We'll be doing a bent knee hamstring stretch. Flex one foot straight out in front of you and bend the other leg. Make sure that your hips are square, meaning that they're aligned on both sides. Trying to reach your stomach towards your thigh. Feeling the stretch deep in your hamstrings. Reach as far down your leg as you can while keeping a flat back. On each exhale, try to bring your stomach a little bit closer to your thighs rather than reaching for your toes. Slowly shift your weight forward and roll yourself up. And we'll be doing a high pyramid, keeping your hips square, hinge forward with a flat back. Hold onto your thigh as support as you continue to hinge forward. If you have yoga blocks, you can hold on to these as support. It's more important to keep a flat back in this position than to reach for your toes. Trying to reach a little bit deeper, keeping your stomach close to your thigh. Slowly rolling up and switching sides, flexing your foot, keeping your knee bent, and hinging forward with square hips to try to bring your stomach closer to your thigh. Keep your foot flexed to feel it in your calves as well as your hamstrings, and gently make your way down if you can keep your back flat. Slowly shift your weight forward and roll yourself up. And we'll be doing a high pyramid in the same position with your legs, keeping your hips square and hinge forward. This means that you should not be using your upper back to try to reach for your toes. Keep your back as straight as possible and only go as far as you can. On each exhale, try to bring your stomach a little bit closer. Now slowly roll yourself up. Now we'll be moving on to the mat. From a standing position, walk your hands down into a plank. We'll be getting onto all fours. Press your hips back and straighten out your arms and shoulders to go into downward facing dog, starting to pedal out our feet. Often our first time doing downward facing dog feels extra stiff, but just make sure you continue to pedal it out. Step forward with your right leg into a low lunge, making sure that your knee is aligned with your ankle and your back knee is flat on the ground. Check if your hips are square by placing your hands on both hips. They should be aligned. Now push back into a hamstring stretch. Flex and strain out your front leg, shifting back and forth from a lunge to a hamstring stretch. In the deep lunge position, you should feel your hip flexors. And as you shift back, you should feel your hamstrings. Breathing gently and following your breath as you shift back and forth. Now we'll be holding our hamstring stretch. Make sure that your hips are as aligned as possible, and we'll hold here for 30 seconds. If you're familiar with PNF, you can go ahead and do that here by pressing your heel through the ground and back. And then relax. Gently raise yourself up. We'll be reaching our arms across the extended leg for a deep twist. Feeling it again in our hamstrings, but in a different position. Continue to inhale and exhale, nice and slow. Holding here for just one more breath before moving on to the next side. Now moving on to the next side, bring your left leg forward into a low lunge with your knee over your ankle. Feeling it in your hip flexors. And then shifting your weight back into a hamstring stretch. Make sure you're aware of where you're feeling it in your body as we shift back and forth. Pressing your right hip down to increase the stretch in the hip flexor, and then making our way back. Flex your foot to deepen the stretch, or try to lower your stomach towards your thigh, and then shift forward. These should be very active movements where you're aware of how your muscles are engaging. Shift your weight back And again, on the exhale, try to press your stomach closer to your thigh. Shifting forward one last time, pressing against your hip for your hip flexor stretch. Now we'll be holding our hamstring stretch. You can make subtle adjustments to your leg to try to make sure your hips are aligned. Inhale and exhale. And play around with reaching forward, trying to get your stomach to your thigh. Now walking your hands to the outside of the extended leg, feeling the stretch in a different part of our hamstrings. Continuing to breathe. This is a very deep stretch. Only go as far as you can go and focus on relaxing into your hamstring. Next, we'll be transitioning onto our backs. Shift your weight forward back into a lunge and bring your back leg towards your front foot. Should be in a seated position. We'll be moving on to the final part of this stretch, pulsing inwards 10 times before we release and switch sides. Now switching legs, again pulling our knee closer towards our chest. Now switching legs, grab behind your thigh with both hands and pull your knee towards your chest. Try to straighten out your leg, and at the top, flex your foot. Bend your leg and point, lift up, and flex. Continuing this for 5 repetitions. Point at the bottom, flex at the top. This is called hamstring flossing, which really helps to align the nerves in your hamstring to allow your muscles to extend and heal. Switching on to the next side. Pull your knee in with both hands behind your thighs. Straighten out your leg and flex your foot. Then pointing as you move downwards. You can keep the other leg bent or straight, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Straighten out and flex at the top as much as you can go, focusing on the deep stretch as you straighten out your leg and flex your foot. Lowering down to a point and flexing your foot as you straighten. Great. Now hug your knees in and rotate your knees outwards. And now we'll rotate inwards. This will help reset our hips and our hamstrings, just giving movement back into those muscles. Place your right leg over your left knee for a glute stretch, wrapping your hands behind your thigh and pulling inwards towards your chest. Actively press your right knee outwards as you pull your left leg in. Breathe very slowly. This should feel really nice for your glutes and the sides of your legs. Swapping over to the next side, place your ankle over your knee and pull your right thigh inwards. Press your left knee out as you pull the right leg in. Feeling the stretch in your glutes and your hips open. Continue to breathe. Hold here for just one more breath. On to our final stretch. We'll begin by crossing our right foot over our left knee, shifting our hip for a cross-legged twist. You can press your knee a little bit closer to the ground. Just make sure that your shoulder blades are both on the ground. Relax and look in the opposite direction. This is a nice one for our lower backs and just a gentle twist for the sides of our body. Switching over to the next side, place your left ankle over your right leg and twist your body towards the right. You can tilt your head towards your extended arm for a deeper stretch. Press your shoulder blades flat on the ground. You'll be lying here for a little bit more. And then shifting our bodies back up. Now lying here in a bent-legged position for a few breaths. And when you're ready, gently roll yourself up. And we're done. And that is it for the routine. I hope that your hamstrings are feeling a little bit less tight. Tomorrow you might be feeling sore, and that is completely normal. My hamstrings were definitely sore the day after I filmed this stretch, and it is a good thing, I promise. We need these deeper stretches in order to train our muscles to really elongate. If you'd like to stretch more with me, please hit that subscribe button to get updates when I post a new video. Leave me a like and let me know in the comments below, what are your top 2 areas that are tight in your body, and are you actually stretching them out? Let's stretch again soon.